Okay, hello everyone. Oops, let me get rid of this live icon here. So I wanted to, my voice is cracking here. I wanted to go live for this episode 2 of MagicQ because if I was live, then I could just basically talk, not think about how long the recording is, and then just go with it. But instead, I have to wait 24 hours till my extra channel allows for live streaming. So this is going to be a mega long video that I'll upload overnight. But you know, because like live streaming, you don't take up your hard drive space, you take up YouTube's hard drive space. And excuse me, it live streams and then it saves it in an archive and whatever. But anyway, since I can't live stream, I'll be recording, and yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about really quickly, excuse me, is that the visualizer by default goes on top of the thing. It goes on top of your MagicQ window even when you select your MagicQ window and you start editing things here. Your visualizer does stay on top in Windows. On Mac, because I use both Windows and Mac. Let me make this a little bit smaller. I use a Mac because that's the type of computer that we have over at the do all this stuff. But with the Mac, I usually have to like keep it to the side. But with this Windows thing, I can basically make this, full screen, and I have the most real estate, and then the visualizer stays, here in this corner on top. You can do it on Mac. Now, I do like to keep it, like, small-ish by making it bigger like this, and then just keeping that visualizer off in the corner. So I still have most of my real estate, but anyway. On Mac, there's an option at the top. I think it's window. Or on Mac, you can do it with any window. It's the keep a float option. Just Google it. I got mine working. I think I did. Let me see. I have my thing right here. But I haven't actually tried it. I just kind of like looked at it and I said, yeah, that looks good. Always on top. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a you can download an app and it'll keep it afloat. You do the same thing on Windows if you're having issues. All right. Enough talk about the visualizer. Let's get into positions. So I'm going to show you really useful position techniques. So first, I'm going to select my top ones. I'm going to locate them. Excuse me. That way, I have these top ones located. Let me make sure I can. This should. So here they are located, and if I hit center, that's obviously the center. And so now, what I want to do is I'm gonna make my own programs down here. I might do like 3 or 4 just to keep the tutorial kind of short. But we're gonna end up having more. We're gonna copy and paste them around the place, and I'll show you. Basically, we're gonna program positions, but make them versatile so that you can combine positions and make different positions with the ones you already program. If that makes any sense. Okay. If you don't know that makes sense, whatever. Well, you'll see in a few minutes. Okay, so top, there at the center. Now what I want to do is, let's say I want every one of the lights to just point down in this front area. Maybe that's the stage or whatever. And so let me get pan on 0. And I kind of like that. Excuse me. I kind of like just evenly spaced, just like that. So that's good for the top. Now I'm going to move to my left ones, and actually to avoid confusion, well, maybe not, but I was going to say I would turn off. I'd say I'd take my intensity of the top ones down all the way, so that way I can just see the left ones, but I think it's alright if I just leave them on. So now I'll locate my left ones, and then go back to my position window, and now I'm going to change this stuff. If you ever, like, break it, I think you can just hit set and click this. No, you can't. Get out of that. Anyway, yeah, if you ever, like, break it, you have to kind of fine-tune it. And I don't think there's a way to increment it one by one, because it's like a knob, and you're supposed to have a physical knob, but having a stupid, thing. And you'll notice that the pan whoa, the pan actually doesn't do anything until I tilt them. And so I'm going to tilt them forward a little bit until they can kind of point where I want them to, and then pan them down to where... Oh, there we go. Yes. So if I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. I might fine tune it a little bit more to really get what I want out of it. In fact, what I'll probably do is have these go there, and then the right ones kind of do the same thing. So I need to pan them a little bit, and then tilt them. Let me do dim at full. Dim at full just brightens them all the way. Locate again makes them go to their default position. So you have to be careful. And tilt it around. Is this pointing? Where's this pointing at? Why? Oh, look. See? There's that one that's down underneath that's coming out. I forgot that I had that extra one. That might be a funny thing. Obviously, this is just, I don't have this actual rig with me in real life, and so it doesn't necessarily work like that. Oh, okay, perfect. I can pan it down like that and then tilt it to where they meet in the middle. That looks pretty good. Okay, and now last is the bottom ones. I'll locate them. So now I'm going to go to these ones and turn them all off, but that doesn't mean that their positions are going to be changed. I'm just turning them off for now so that I can focus on these bottom ones because I know kind of what I want. And so I go to position, and now I can tilt them and pan them. And to be honest, maybe I want these to just shoot out and up. And I don't know what the heck this position will be called. Most of the time, you don't actually have this many moving lights. And that's kind of my fault for making them all spotlight, Sharpie, whatever, these, moving heads. Because, I don't know. But anyway, so now that I have this, I'm going to double check it by selecting all, making the dimmer at full on all of them. And here is now the new... Sorry, I choked on my own tongue there for a second. I like this. This is cool. You don't actually have to be very creative with your lights, because it's cool. Okay, so now that they're all in the position that I want, make sure you select all, because we're programming this position for all of them, so that maybe if I'm like, oh, I want those bottom ones to point up, then, whatever. And so I am going to now go to my position tab and then record. So press the record button, which I have it hotkeyed, and then record here. Okay, great. Now I'm going to go ahead and set this to, I don't know, center. Oh, shoot, I forgot. I have to use all caps. So what do I want to name this? Like, what do you think this is? I'll just do, like, main, stage, center, whatever. There's main, stage, center. So now if I have all of them and I say point up, or maybe, wait, what does point up look like? Oh, yeah, that's pretty neat. Anyway, now if I go back to main, stage, center, it obviously remembers right where they're at. And whenever you record something into the position thing, it doesn't store anything else like gobos. So if I come into my programmer and I just make them shut fast, then I can like change their positions while they're shuttering and then bring them back to the main stage center. This kind of looks like what I just did. Let me turn to shut open. Oh, that's a little bit different, but anyway. Okay, so there's that one, and I'm going to go ahead and just clear, or I'm going to go to all and locate. Well, I don't know if I can just click back, but the worst thing to ever happen, and you just got to be careful, is when you accidentally hit locate instead of dim at full. So usually if I want to just bring my dimmer up, for example, if they're all off, I just use this knob here, and I double click this to go from... or you can actually, if you hit down from 0, it just wraps around and goes to 100 instantly. So anyway. All right, so now this position here is programmed for all of the lights, but that doesn't necessarily mean that if I go to my bottom ones and I say far down, well, now they're the only ones that are going to be affected by it, and all these stay the same. And so that is something that's really useful to know. And then I'll show you something else that's even better later on. Okay, so now what I want is, I don't know exactly what I want. Excuse me, I'm like dying. I've just had a bad cold and I'm coughing every day for the past week. It's horrible. All right. I'm gonna locate all the lights and just start fresh. Or actually, nah. I'll locate my top ones and start with these. I like to do one group at a time, and that's why grouping by like truss or grouping by area or orientation is always good. You can do both. You know, if you had some lights mounted on truss 1 that were facing like on this side, then all of their positions are going to be different than the ones facing downwards, but you can still group them together to do color and stuff like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'll probably do kind of the same thing, but facing, or actually I'm going to point everything towards this back corner in the room here. So I'll go about right there. That's good. Left them in. Whoops, I clicked the wrong button. Layout 1, position. Okay. And now let's see. So tilting them makes them go up or down, and then panning them makes them go left or right. What the heck? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's being kind of weird because like you have to tilt it enough to actually see what pan. So I'm not too worried about how it looks. About in that middle one. I'll just have them all going there. I mean, you could do stuff like fan them, and then if I fan them out, now they're going different ways. But for the most part, I think I just want to do it like that. All right, right dimmer at full or locate, whatever. It doesn't matter in this. But I usually typically don't use the locate button at all. Oh, whoa, I could just tilt them. I don't need to pan them. I'll still. That looks pretty neat. I like that. And then finally the bottom. As you can see, this takes quite some time. And it's just, you know, it's like positions and then effects are probably the main things that take the longest. I am going to fan these bottom ones here. I'll fan them this way and then unfan them. Fan them. That's pretty neat. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Okay, so this is just back. That's what I'll name this position. Again, select all, dimmer at full for all of them just to make sure I didn't mess up any other ones. And then record here, and then I'm going to say back for whatever that means. Okay, so now I can clear it out, and then I can go all back, and then obviously they move, but then you have to make their intensity all the way. So now we've got these two crazy positions. These are really awesome. Just epic gamer moment. Okay, so now that we have this, what if I want to make, I wonder if this will work. This is, now there's probably a way better way to do this. Let me think. I don't know. There's probably a better way to do it. But anyway, I'm going to select this back one. I'm going to build off of it. And basically what I want is I want all this to go the other way, to go towards the front, right? I mean, to be honest, we could be looking at the front, but I like to think of it as we're in the audience here. You know, the audience is like down here. The stage is elevated a little bit. And then, you know, it's like you're looking, you know, you get the picture. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and select this back one. And now I'm going to start programming more. But what I want to do is I want to hit View Palette. And actually, there's multiple ways to do this. My favorite way is just to copy. Oh, shoot, I cleared it. Whoops, I forgot. Copy was the thing. So I'm going to select back. I'm going to select copy and then paste it here. And I'm going to rename this to back CPY for copy, just so I know. Yep, I want to rename it. So now I've got back and back copy. They're the same thing. I'm going to go into this thing, and now you can see that here I have all of the heads, their numbers, and then their pan and tilt values. So now I'm just going to invert everything. So like all of these 40s are going to become, so I use the set key, they're going to be negative 40. If I hit enter, oh shoot, what? Minus 40. Okay, I guess that doesn't work. So let me try 80. Negative 47? Hold up, I've done this before, and it usually doesn't do this. Anyway, what if I do this? What happens? Oh, that broke it. So, let me go back copy. Yeah, I'm going to go to back, and now what I'm going to do is, let's move those top ones to the front. So if I go to position, their tilt is at 40, so I just move it to negative 40. And see, what it does is it just goes the other way, and so it should work. Yeah, see, now they're just going the other way. That's perfect. What about these bottom ones? Well, the bottom ones are going to be harder because they're fanned out. Let's try the left real quick because they're pan and tilted. So the pan is negative 4, so we go to positive 4. And then negative 54 tilt. And see, yeah, what the crud? This is big weird. Anyway, I don't want to replicate this one. I was just experimenting with that. I'm going to clear it all out and locate and restart. Okay, so now I'll do one more, and then I'll show you how to make these more versatile. Oh, okay, I thought I heard someone come in. All right. Next. What are we doing? We're doing positions. I know that. Let's take these top. Let me clear it all out. Top, dim it full. What do I want? Well, now I want to do some cool fanning. So let's say I want to point these. I'm going to do like an upward type one. So here's up. And then I'm going to fan the pan. Well, pressed F and it didn't work. Fan. That's cool. Actually, let's get them a little closer. Excuse me. Okay. Left, I have a good idea of what I want them to look like now. Dim it full. So first of all, let's tilt them a little. Oh, I'm still fanning. There, finally got 0. See when I hit fan, the light comes on. It's just, if you hold down, you can change the settings of it. But I don't usually mess with that because I like the way it normally fans. Now I want to point these same direction, and then I actually want to adjust these individual ones for a little bit at least. So I'm gonna go here. Oh, that's the bottom one. Maybe I could fan them and it would work. Let's see if I can select both of them up a little bit. Oh, hang on. Putting way too much effort into this. Oh, because it was fanned. It was like, if you try to fan and then it's like one thing, it's like, what are you doing, man? I can't fan one thing. That makes no sense. Dude, don't affect the stupid tilt, dummy. See, it's like, I hate three-dimensional stuff. I'm right now in like studying calculus 3 right now. All the three-dimensional calculus. And 3D sucks. It's just I mean, even in this, it's like you get a whole new perspective on what it is, and it's just crazy. So anyway, which one was I doing? It was this one, and then I have to fix, yeah. So pan up, and then tilt this way too hard. I don't want to do it with the right. Okay. Oh, here it is. Go to position and hit flip. And then it flips it. I'm big dumb. Okay. Well, shoot. Let me find... Well, I did it individually for all these, so I don't know their exact positions. Anyway, let's do these two. Select them both. Nope. Wrong one. That's the bottom one. Here's the top one. I think it is. I hope so. And now... Let's do dimmer at full. Oh, it's those two. What? That makes not a lot of sense to me. Okay, I see. The last one's the bottom one. That is just strange. These two actually need to tilt towards me. Right now I'm focusing just on that top one. That's pretty good. And I like that bottom one. That's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the OCD side of everyone is probably like, not the OCD side. OCD is, you know what I mean. That little part of your brain that's like, I don't like the way that looks. Position, pan. Then that other one, this one, panned a little better. I hate how sensitive it is. That is the extent of my effort that I will put into this. Now the bottom ones. Dim at full. There we go. Tilt towards me. And floor. Yeah, that's pretty good. Top one. Sorry, I'm like dead silent. But this is the reality of position programming. And we're almost done with this video, but I don't feel like editing it because I just got done editing another thing. Perfect. I am now just going to do the bottom all at the same place. Okay. Dimmer at full for the bottom. I love the bottom and the top because their tilts actually work. I should have mounted those different. There we go. And then tilt. Oh, hey, that looks cool. That's kind of cool, except those don't line up, but that's not my problem. If someone's sitting there looking like, "Oh, I'm blind," then that's the extent of it. So now I will call this one outward. So again, select all, dim it full, just make sure nothing's wrong, and then I'm going to record here and then set this to outward. Okay, so now I have these absolutely insane positions that are kind of ugly. This back copy is going to go away, so now it looks like I've barely done any work because I only have 3 positions. But that's fine. I've already been going for 24 minutes. I'll record maybe 2 more just for fun before the next episode. So this episode isn't over, though. We have to talk about the different types now. So first of all, there's 2 different position types that are really useful: pan position and tilt position. And so we're going to take these 3 and duplicate them to where they're better. So first, I'm going to copy this one, copy this one, copy this one. Now I'm going to rename these three, and I'll just say main tilt. Yep. Back tilt. Yep. And then out tilt. Okay, and then we're going to do the same with these, but they're going to be for pan. Now, you're going to go in here and you're going to hit View Palette. Okay, so now the first ones were tilts, so take the pans and delete them. So hit Remove when you highlight all them. Do that for all of these. Pan, delete. And you're like, bro, no. And in fact, just to be safe, I'm going to copy these down here, because these are the original ones, just in case I mess something up. But anyway, outward tilt, back tilt. Is this one tilt? No, pan, get rid of, delete. Main stage center, so now rename this to main pan. Yep. As you can see, not doing this at first. Obviously, you're going to name them properly the first time, but I was like trying to get to the punchline, you know. Trying to do a setup. Out pan. Yep. So now these are the pans, so get rid of all the tilts. I'm not just hitting the delete key, by the way. I'm hitting the remove key. But again, I have that mapped. Okay, perfect. Now, what we can do is, as you just saw it, out pan, out tilt. Why is it still on fan? Okay. Clear it, all locate, back in the original. So now if I go main tilt, they're all going to tilt to that main place. But if I hit main pan, now they're panned in the right positions, which half of them didn't change. This was pretty a bad example. But now if I want back pan, but main tilt, I have now this new position that is crazy. And it looks cool. Out pan, what does that look like? Oh, that looks cool. Or what if I did back tilt and all this different pan business? So there's our original. There's our out. Here's our main. It gets super glitchy and super cool just because you're mixing and matching. And then, of course, you can keep your original ones just in case something bad happens. So that is something that's really important when it comes to busking or just programming in the future. Now that we have these pallets, there are presets that we can use to make different positions that look epic. I mean, look at this. What is this other light here doing? I don't know. That's crazy cool. In fact, I might just remove those bottom ones. I don't know. So, long story short, that one looks pretty ugly down there. But if I remove it, it might glitch out everything else. So, I don't know. Anyway, long story short, it's awesome to really play around with these things and do really good. You could also do the same thing with your colors. You could say, oh, I'm going to adjust my yellows a bit more. You know, it's like, well, this one doesn't have the actual RGB sliders, but it's like, I'm going to dial in some more red, and then maybe some cyan or whatever. Or you could say, excuse me, did I say cyan? I meant cyan. But anyway, I've been recording for 28 minutes. I'm pretty tired of doing this. Also, I'd like to let you know that my screen is like 4K Ultra HD, but I'm recording in 720p, so it's mega blurry. But I hope you can still understand the buttons that I'm pressing. I mean, I'm sure my mouse is still visible. I might compare and contrast. I'll do it right now. I'm going to go to my setup window, view settings, windows, make this black. Black shaded. Oh! I kind of like that. But anyway, the black one, it might be easier to see your thing, but it's like, see, it's harder to see these individual buttons and windows and the main thing. But I'll probably stick to black for the rest of the tutorials if it's easier to see my mouse. But I don't know. I'll compare and contrast. Anyway, that is all. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you in the next episode. The next episode will be covering effects, or FX, which are fun because colors are pretty self-explanatory. The beams, you don't really need to mess with much. So if we go into effects, then we'll be able to do some cool stuff. And so now dim at full. Look at that. Or here, let me do all. I'm just going to start hitting random buttons. Dim. Let me do top cyan, left pink, right green, bottom yellow, right even blue for no other reason. Top even white. Okay. And now main pan back out tilt. And then dim at full for all of them. Look at that. That's a fresh new look. Oh shoot, main pan back tilt. There we go. That's an epic look. It looks ugly because all the colors don't match, but that's a cool look. All right, that's all I've got. Thanks for watching.